What is up? I hope you are having an amazing day. In this video, we are going to talk about reading. And I know, before you click off this video, please just hear me out. I know reading isn't the most enticing subject to hear somebody talk about, but I promise you that if you stay and watch to the end of this video, you will learn how to turn reading from a boring activity into an activity that you actually enjoy doing. Reading is one of the best things that you can do for yourself in life. Not only does it allow you to gain knowledge on various subjects, but it can also increase your communication skills, improve your relationships, enhance your perspective on life, and even help you live longer. But sadly, too many people are not reading nearly as much as they should be, and mostly because they do not enjoy the act of reading. They find it too boring and too understimulating. I'm going to give you 3 simple steps right now that can help you transform reading from a boring, tedious task into an activity that you actually enjoy doing and can implement into your routine in the future. So without further ado, let's hop into step number 1. It is very crucial to start out reading books that are on topics that you are genuinely interested in and want to learn more about. I feel like so many of us growing up throughout school were forced to read books that we really didn't want to read. And this kind of screwed up our relationship with reading because we didn't really enjoy it, we weren't interested in it, and now we view ourselves as a person who is not a good reader, doesn't enjoy reading, or that's just not something that they do. This is like watching terrible films for your first ever movies, and then after that believing that you just aren't a person who enjoys movies. You just haven't found the right one yet. I promise you that there are books out there that will have you captivated more than any TV show or movie that you have watched in the past. You just have to do the searching and find it. Step number 2 is take baby steps. Too many people, when they start out reading, feel like they have to sit down for half an hour straight and bang out 6 chapters of a book. And this is not the way to approach it. Start off by picking up the book and reading just 1 page. After you read that 1 page, close it, put it away, and go on doing whatever else it is that you were doing. One thing that I did to help build my reading habit was I put whatever book that I was reading at the time in various places around my room or even the bathroom, so that whenever I'm around those places and I see my book sitting there, I'm more inclined to pick it up and open it and read a page. By only reading 1 page at a time, you're making sure not to overwhelm yourself or make it a tedious task, but instead make it something that is fast, easy, and enjoyable to do. Slowly, you'll start to realize that it becomes easier and easier every time, and you will find yourself reading past the page and being captivated in the story and wanting to find out what happens in the end. Plus, the satisfaction that you get when you finish a book, especially a long one, is nothing compared to the feeling that you get after you finish a movie or a TV show. I don't know about you, but in my opinion, I always feel like I just wasted however long I watched it, and I kind of feel guilty because I feel like I should have put however long that time was into something that will be more useful to myself. Step number 3 is to stop spiking your dopamine levels. Without trying to sound like a scientist, our brains release a chemical called dopamine, and what this chemical does is it gives us the feeling of joy, happiness, and satisfaction. This chemical is released every time we do something that is beneficial to our physical or mental health, such as eating food, having sex, working out, or doing anything else. Knowing this information, the creators of the social media apps and other content that we use and consume every day have specifically and intentionally designed their platforms and the way that we interact with them to release the most amount of dopamine in our brain as possible. What this does is give us the feeling of joy, excitement, and entertainment and captivation that we have when we're scrolling through TikTok or watching Netflix or doing anything else that is on our phone or any other electronic devices. The reason that they do this is to keep you distracted and on their app as long as possible, because the longer that you're on there, the more money they make. What this does is build up the tolerance of your dopamine receptors, so it makes it that you need more and more dopamine released into your brain every time in order to feel that same level of happiness. This makes it so that when we go out to do everyday activities such as going to the store, reading a book, going to school, having conversation with your friends and family, we do not feel the same level of joy and happiness that we used to and should feel. So, as you could have guessed, in order to restore our dopamine levels to the healthy state that it should be, we must detox and avoid spiking our levels as much as possible. This means cutting back your screen time on pretty much all of your electronics, whether it's TikTok and Instagram on your phone or YouTube and Netflix on your laptop or TV. All the time that you spend watching and using and engaging with these electronics, you're constantly just spiking your dopamine levels, and it makes it harder and harder for you to restore your levels back to that healthy state, which will allow you to start enjoying the little things in life. That is it for my 3 steps. I don't want to go too much more into the last one about the dopamine detox, because that is going to be the topic for next week's video. So if that is something that you want to hear about, you should definitely subscribe and hit that bell notification so you do not miss out. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up real quick so you can hop off your electronic device and start lowering those levels back to a healthy state. So thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you later.